Yep, so you can share. Okay, we're being streamed live. So here we are with Sarah McGuire. So excited. Thank you everybody for joining us. And we are going to be talking about using Project Broadcast in your parties, in your table parties. Let me make that straight for the best host and guest coaching. Sarah, take it away.
Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I'm sorry for the last minute. I didn't even catch that it was not a Zoom. And so I was prepared for Zoom because I do think this will be far easier for people
Absolutely.
to follow than me to try to explain.
Sarah, we're professionals here. We got this in no time flat. We're
Okay,
Pampered Chef consultants. We're ready for everything.
Good, love it. We can go on the fly. Well, first of all, real quick, for those that I may not know that are going to be watching, my name is Sarah McGuire. I joined Pampered Chef 18 years, or this is my 18th year. So been around for a little while, been through many different changes with Pampered Chef. Prior to March of 2020, I would say I was about 75 to 80% in-home parties, had done roughly about 2,000 in-home parties. And then of course, March 13th of 2020 came and everything changed. I personally have chosen to stay 100% virtual, completely a personal decision. And so over the last 3 years have continuously adapted my virtual. And in June of 2022, I started using Project Broadcast after my upline, Cherie White, hounded me to look at it and learn it and all that. So, and I'm very grateful that I did. So that's a little bit about me. I will say in July of 2022, I went 100% table. So I do not do Facebook anymore. I also rarely, if ever, do a gateway. So what I'm going to talk about is primarily how I host and guest coach using table. However, if you are still using Facebook, I think you still could use some of what I'm doing via Project Broadcast, just tweaking a little bit to take out the table portion of it. I will also say anytime you're going to make a big change, like for me, it was big change with Project Broadcast, big change with table. You can't just do 1 or 2 parties. If they don't work, say, forget it, I'm going back the old way. You have to be willing to tweak and change things and keep going. One of the other big things I just want to encourage is, even though I'm using Project Broadcast and I love all the features, it is still not one size fits all for host coaching and guest coaching. So I have my templates I use, but it doesn't mean I treat every host the same. There are some things that are changed up depending on the host. As much as I would love, or I think all of us would love everything to be automated, that I think sets you up for failure. You have to personalize some of it. You have to be willing to go with the flow. That's just what I have found that works.
And Sarah, I'm going to tell you real quick, our hosts know when we are being a computer.
Yep.
It's come back to me from several people. They know when we're not, when our head's not into it and we're just sending those messages out without thought. So thank you for mentioning that huge point that's coming back to me.
And I think that goes for guest coaching and it goes for coaching our team. I have been one, I'm an advanced director. I've been senior a couple of times. I've been one, what works for me, and you have to find what works for you, even with my team members. I do not throw them all into a bucket and train them the same. I meet them where they're at. However, I do match time with effort. So I'm not going to drag them along, but that's just what works for me. I don't know if it's because I'm in the South and it's Southern hospitality. I don't know, but that's what works for me. But what I do love about Project Broadcast and Table, prior to Pampered Chef, I was a CPA. I was an auditor. So I am a big person of have processes that work, that are efficient, change them when you need to, all that. So Project Broadcast is so up my alley. I love that I can work from my computer or I can work from my phone. I will be on spring break the week after next, and my hosts are not going to know that I'm at Disney until they go to Facebook and see all the pictures that are posted. I will be standing in line for rides, and I will still be host coaching and guest coaching. And some may not want to do that. Some may want to take the whole week off. Me, I don't. That's just what works for my personality. And I apologize if I talk too fast. I don't want to take up too much of everybody's Saturday, but I also want to give value. Okay, so I do use Table exclusively. If you're not, I encourage you to try it. I was in the pilot, did not like the pilot, went away from it. And then after conference, I went to conference saying, I'm going to go back and give it a try. Table with Project Broadcast is a dream because it helps me guest coach without even having to think about it. But right now I'm in my templates on Project Broadcast. I hope soon they will come out with folders because I would love to have folders instead of trying to get so creative how I label things to keep them in the order I like them in, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, we need to request that, Sarah. I'm with you 100%.
And I think it's in the works because I was on a call with whatever his name is, Jake. No,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, I think that's it. And he mentioned that folders were coming in 2023. But, you know, I hope they're sooner rather than later because, again, I like things in order, a little too much in order. But anyway, all right. So we're gonna move. I'm gonna go through the templates just so you guys can see. Here's how I run my parties. Obviously, do what works for you. All of my parties start on Thursdays. So this coming week, I'll have the parties that are going to start on the 23rd. They start on Thursday and they end the following Friday. Now, because we have direct ship, that doesn't mean they all end then. I have been on direct ship since the beginning, since the pilot program. So I can't tell you how many parties don't end up getting closed because for whatever reason, the hosts disappear and all that. But you know what? I do my part. If they don't want to redeem their free, I can only remind them so many times and all that. But I start them on the Thursday, run till the following Friday. However, let me shut this real quick. My dog's barking. I'm sorry. Hold on. However, I actually really start on the Monday of that week. So on the 20th, and I need to move you guys out of the way so I can see this. On the 20th, all of my hosts that are going to start on Thursday are going to get this message. And I don't schedule it. I'm also mostly paperless, but I do have this binder that's my Bible in that it's got 1 to 31 for tabs. And so, for example, on the 20th, and this is the old time host information sheet. I just have it saved and keep printing it. I really only use it for their contact information and for something to put in this binder. I know that come Monday morning when I come into my office, I will look at the 20th. These are actions that need to take place. Once I do it, I'll move them to the next day. But Monday of this coming week, I will send this message to each of the hosts individually. Usually I'll do it around like 9:30. I do not have broadcast hours set because I always am going to do stuff within reasonable hours. Now I don't think I'll be able to play the YouTube that's in here because I don't think it'll let you hear it. But what this YouTube is, it is slides, and we actually got some of it from Mindy Banks. So Mindy, if you happen to watch this, thank you so much. This was a huge game changer, but it's slides telling them what to expect for their table party. And it's me using voiceover to describe the slides as you go through it. And I am happy, Angie Kirkland already shared all these templates. So this is just kind of explaining them. This has been a game changer because I send this out on Monday. And it does ask them to give me a thumbs up once they've read it or once they've listened to it. So as soon as I get the Project Broadcast message with a thumbs up, then I send them this template. And again, I don't automate this. If I get this while I'm sitting at a red light, then I just pull up my phone, find the template, hit the next one and send it. Obviously I don't text and drive. Don't turn me in. I'm being careful, but I'm just using that as an example. If I'm at the ball field with my boy, whatever. So I send them this asking to set up a call with them Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, if they don't respond to the first one with a thumbs up by like say late on Monday, either late Monday evening or first thing Tuesday morning, I'm going to go ahead and send them this anyway, because that's another trigger that they're going to get via text. get their attention. Maybe they saw the video, but they forgot to respond, or maybe they were at the ball field when it came in. We all know when the red dot disappears from a text or whatever, we forget because we may not have been in a good place when we got it. So I'll still send this. I personally think this phone call is key to the party being successful. It typically is the only phone call I'm going to have with my host unless they're just someone that really loves the phone. But I really, really try with every single host to get this call in. There are some that I don't, and they're still successful. But when I have this call, I have, and I can share this wording, I just have some bullet points that I want to go over with them of what to expect. I let them know that they're going to get their table party link on Thursday morning. And as soon as they get that, they will receive 2 follow-up texts from me. The first one being acknowledging that I saw they joined and I have now set them as the host for their party. And it tells them I'm about to send you the invite wording to use. So that second text, and we're going to see it in just a minute, but I go over that. I also let them know they don't have to use social media, but if they would like to share it to social media, they can. But I encourage them to do all of their inviting from text, messenger, and email. I personally am encouraging them not to use the invite via text and table, but instead copy my wording, go to their contacts in their phone, start with A, work through Z. They don't have to do it in one sitting. They can work on it the entire length of the party, but especially focus on getting people invited Thursday through Monday. And then I let them know the more we get invited, the more I'm going to be able to remind their guests and coach their guests. Then I let them know from my little notes, their primary job is invite, 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 invite. I am not overly concerned how much they interact in the table party. I want them inviting, and I want them inviting everybody and anybody they can think of. I tell them minimum, we really want 30 to 50 people that actually join. I ask them to please not, overthink who they're inviting, because the person that they least expect to order is going to be the person that's probably going to order $200 from them. I give them a scenario of an ex-husband that ordered from one of my cooking parties years ago and all that. So invite everybody, then leave the ball in that person's court if they need to shop or not, or if they want to join or not. But if you don't invite, you for sure don't have that order. The other thing that I do is I let them know I will drop one catalog. I don't really do a host packet, just one catalog in the mail. And in the bottom corner, and it's going to be hard for y'all to see, I do a label that has the QR code to their party. And I tell them you're going to use this catalog, A, for you to browse yourself to create your wish list, but keep this catalog with you at the ball field, at work, carpool line, whatever. If you run into people, let them scan it just like they scan the menus at a restaurant, and they can start shopping immediately. Now, I print that from this little, it's called Nimbot, Niimbot. Got it on Amazon for like 20 bucks. It hooks to your phone, and I use a free QR creator on my phone, print these out. Because they are so small, I do put a blank label behind it just so it pops. But I want to make it as easy as possible, for people. So I drop that in the mail. I let them know on the phone I'm going to be dropping that in the mail. So as soon as we've had that phone call, right when we hang up, this is the next text that they get. And again, this can take place from my phone or my computer. So it does not matter if I'm in the office or not. I personally am not one that has office hours. I just work when it's convenient for me, with, being conscious of don't do stuff at 1 a.m. type thing. But I send them this little party guide, and that is primarily so they have something to reference back to. It's also just, acknowledging right after we get off the phone, send that last little text, knowing that they're not listening to absolutely everything I say on the phone, but, for the most part, I want them listening the most. So those 3 messages are all going to take place Monday through like Wednesday. Well, then on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, I will send them the message reminding them I'm dropping a catalog in the mail. This kind of just happens. I send it whatever day I am mailing it. So this one, I have it as the next message, but it doesn't mean it necessarily is next. I just keep up with when I mail them. And I don't freak out if I forget to mail the catalogs until Saturday. I mean, just as long as they get the catalog before the end of the party, that's really my main goal. So I don't have a set day that I mail the catalogs. It's when it's convenient for me to run to the post office, to drop them in the mail, whatever. Thursday, they're going to get the next message, which is their link to their party. And so I just copy and paste this. I don't try to automate it because, most of the time I'll have anywhere between 3 and at most, when I'm really working my business great, I might have 7 parties that start at the same time, but it doesn't take hardly any time to do this. Now, I like them to get this message like mid-morning, maybe between 9 and 10 a.m. Central Time. So if I'm in my office early, because my son has 6 a.m. football workouts, I will just schedule it through the chat, which means it doesn't cost me any credits, but I'm using the time that works for me. If I'm in my office at 6 a.m., I'll schedule it so they're going to get it around 9 o'clock, but I can then move their little paper in the binder because I've taken care of what I needed to do. On here, I told them on the phone that it will notify me when they've joined. So I do wait till I get the email that says they've joined. Sometimes my host will say, hey, I just joined. When I get that, again, wherever I'm at, and if I can't do it right then, it's fine. But wherever I'm at, I'll go to table. I will change them as the host. Not all of them upload their picture, and I don't fret about that. If they do, that's great. If they don't, I have a little picture, on the party, so it's not the end of the world. But I'll set them as the host. And as soon as I've set them as the host, then they get this message that is just letting them know, good, you've joined your party. I'm about to send you the wording for inviting. And I remind them, they can invite throughout the whole party, but especially for the next 4 days, meaning Thursday through like Monday morning. So I send that, and as soon as and this is all, I do not schedule these. I just do them as it comes in. As soon as I send that one, right behind it, I send this, and this will be the wording that they will copy and paste. So I'll put their table link in here, and I do it as 2 texts because I don't even want them to have to worry what's copied or pasted. The entire message needs to be copied and pasted. One little side note here, do not assume that all your hosts know how to copy and paste. I just recently, last week, closed a party of a host. She has hosted with me for probably 15 of my 18 years. Love her to death, and I miss them. And they're one group I probably will go and still do in person with. But she texted me and she said, Sarah, please don't laugh at me, and I'm so embarrassed, but how do I copy and paste? And I was getting ready, and I looked at my husband and I said, I am having to become such a tech person. How do you teach someone to copy and paste? Well, using my smartphone, I found a YouTube and sent it to her. She texted me back and she said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you taught me how to do this. So she was working on it. And then I said, okay, but you can do the same thing for Messenger. She said, well, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to do that because I can only learn one new thing in a day. Let me tell you, her party was a $1,600 party. So I just say that don't assume they know what to do it, and don't make them feel stupid. Just, I love her to death and I got to teach her something new. Okay, so they get this. And then you'll know if they're inviting or not, because if they're not, no one's going to be joining. If they are, you'll start seeing some invites come in. And I don't panic if on Thursday there aren't really people joining just yet. They have the whole week. So they may be still at work and all that. So it's just kind of paying attention. If you've got multiple parties going on, really pay attention. If one's not getting any invites, I may go outside of these templates and just send a quick little text and say, hey, Jennifer, I noticed you don't have anyone that has joined yet. Don't forget to invite, but let me know if you have any questions about inviting. Now this next template, and that's really all they're going to need for inviting. They can also copy and paste that because when it sends to them, this is going to be their name that fills in. I do let them know on the phone call if they want to change the wording, they can, and some do, because obviously this is pretty generic wording. I encourage them, make it sound like them. Just like our messages need to sound like us, their friends are going to know them. So they may talk completely different. I may have a host out west that does not say, hey, I'm starting one, hey, y'all. They may not be. Or I may say, hey, girl, because I'm Southern, but, someone out west or in New England, they may not, they may think that that's a foreign language. I don't know. Okay, so this next text, I don't always use this. This is in here because if I do have someone that doesn't seem to be inviting, I may send this to them just as a little encouragement and kind of a reason for me to text and say, hello, let's get some people going. And it just kind of is a reminder of who all to invite, all that stuff. Because I don't know for y'all, but I know for me, a lot of my hosts kind of get stuck just inviting the people that they've talked to most recently. And I want them to invite anybody and everybody. So it's just that encouragement of really invite. And they know that I've already told them your main goal is invite. Because honestly, for me, that is the main thing I care about. Invite the people because I can do my job and do the rest. I want them to help me get bookings, but I can communicate with them and ask about bookings. I can remind them it's time to order because the party is about to close. But if they're not in the party, I have no way of contacting their people. I'm not psychic. I wish I was, because then I'd be a lot more successful. Okay, so that one is a hit or miss if people get it. But this next one, and this actually comes from Renee Ginn. I used to have a different little thing in here. I did a trifecta, but then she had shown me this bingo. And sorry, I'm trying to tell my son to get my dog because she's going crazy. 1 second. Okay. I love this bingo one, and I've had great results of getting lots of thumbs up. And yes, I want to play. Now, I just incorporated this a week ago, so I can't really say if I'm going to have a lot of results from it. But again, I think it is a fun way to kind of give them a snapshot of if they do these things, they're going to have a good party. And let me see if I can make the picture bigger. I don't know if that makes it a little bigger. And rarely, when I was doing the other one, it also had things they could do. You're rarely going to have someone that's going to get all of it. And if you do, by all means, let me give every host an extra $25 because they probably have had a great party. $25 at 30% off, me making commission, costing me hardly anything. As a CPA and a business person, if y'all don't realize you have to invest in your business to be successful, you always have to be willing to invest. And that doesn't necessarily mean financially, but there are a lot of times if you give a little to your business, you're going to get tenfold back down the road. So I send this message usually on Fridays. All of my hosts that just started this past Thursday, they got it on Friday and they get it in the morning. And then I schedule this one for the afternoon while I'm in the office in the morning. Most of the time I do all my kind of get my work done in the morning, because then right now I'm in the kitchen with my stand mixer named Stella, absolutely obsessed with her. So I get all my in-office stuff done in the morning. So I go ahead and schedule this one for Friday afternoon for all of my hosts to get. I think this is important to give them just the shopping link very early on, because especially your repeat hosts and repeat guests, as much as I love Table and I love sharing that information, you got some people that they could care less. Give me the shopping link, let me place my order, and let me move on with my life. So I want my hosts to have that early on, and I want them to send that to people. So that gets scheduled Friday afternoon. Saturday, so this morning, I was in my office. I waited till about 9 and I sent my host this one. Again, just give a little, you'll get a lot back. There are times I have hosts that get 5 orders by Monday morning. There are plenty of times they get 4. They don't have that 5th one, so I'm not out anything. If they do get this, this can be whatever you want. It's not a season's best for me because I do mail a season's best to every one of my hosts as a thank you, and I write a note in it. But This may be a seasoning, or just the other day, my $1,600 host, because she did have 5 orders, her gift was the little bag clip thingies, because she didn't order those. $10, 30% off. That didn't cost me hardly anything. I love them. Now she's got them, that kind of thing. And the way I keep up, if they earned it, their little host form in here, if they had 5 that Monday morning, I just write gift on their sheet. So I'll remember, because I do not want to add it to their cart till they're done with their cart, because A, I want it to be a little bit of a surprise. B, I don't want to mess up their free product or any of that stuff, even if I already mark it as a gift. So I wait till the end. So I feel like I'm going super fast, and hopefully I'm okay on time. If we need to end.
Nope, you just keep on going, Sarah. This is the
Okay.
best thing about the way we're doing it. It's going to be there so people can come
People can
back if
watch
they
it.
don't have all time to watch it. We're not stopping you, girlfriend. You go.
Okay. Okay, perfect. All right. So this morning I scheduled this one. And if you're going to be in your office, you don't have to schedule them. But again, I'm doing all these through the chat, so it's not costing me credits. But this morning I scheduled this one. So my host this afternoon, I actually scheduled them, I think, for around 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. They are going to get this text just to remind them of what the host special is, because sometimes people book and they don't even know what they're booking for. But it also gives me a chance to do, remind them, let's have $1,000 party. It also gets me to say, invite, invite, invite. Because to me, I can't say that enough to them. And whenever people get this, I'll see a couple more invites trickle through. Actually, this morning, as soon as I sent the gift one, 2 of my 3 parties immediately had more people joining. And then typically, I will see, like on Sunday, I might see a few orders come in because they're telling their people, hey, I need 5 orders. I'm not telling their people that, but they are. This next one is also one that's hit or miss if I send it. This is just showing them how they can kind of track their party. Yes, I want them to track it, but I also don't want to throw too much at them because, then you're getting into a whole nother link and all that. I know before we get to the end, I'll help them get to their dashboard and stuff. I also personally, when they get their first order, I don't have a template for it or whatever. I just find their name, go, and I give them a wahoo, you just got your first order. I have one of the girls I follow on TikTok. She is hosting a party. She got 2 orders yesterday, and one of the people booked a party. I mean, I didn't even have to ask her. She said, I'm about to order, but I want to book off Brandy. I was like, okay. Now, mind you, this was at 10:30 last night. And yes, I was still up. So yes, I interacted through Project Broadcast texting her. And what was so great about that, and nobody has to do what I do, work your business how you want. For me, I don't mind working whenever because it doesn't feel like work. But with this particular person that booked at like 10:30, she sent me a text that said, where is it?
Well, and keep in mind there's time zones, so she might have been.
Well, she's in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So, but she sent us text and said, oh, if I can find it, just followed you in love and let me look at my schedule. This was to book. She asked how long I run the parties. She picked that she wants to start it on Thursday. She sent me her address. I said, we're all set. She said, so I had my order delivered to, where is it? Anyway, she said something to the, she said, we had gotten the addresses back and forth. She said, love the communication. And I said, oh, thanks. I truly love what I do. She said, well, it shows and I appreciate that.
There you go.
Y'all, I was scrolling through TikTok last night at 10:30. This morning, the host she booked off of, I follow her on TikTok because she has 2 of the cutest monkeys that I love. So about 8:15, I texted her and said, hey, you got your first 2 orders and Tiffany booked a party. She said, yeah, I know. She texted me at midnight last night, LOL. And I texted my host and said, yeah, I'm thinking that Tiffany doesn't sleep a whole lot. So my point to this is we cannot make everything automated. You don't have to be on the phone with these people, but just interact. I feel like just then with this girl, Tiffany, that's going to start next Thursday, I already have a great relationship started. Now, I will still go through all of these things with her, but just the fact she's recognized the communication, I'm already, sucking her in. That's the wrong way to say it, but, I'm building that
relationship.
Yeah, that relationship. She trusts me. She's going to want to have a good party. not only for herself, but for me, because she knows that I value, her. Okay, so back to our templates. So some people will get this one, some won't. Same with, and if they do, it's going to be on Sunday. Same with this next one. If I have a host that definitely isn't inviting, I will definitely send this one to give them an idea of, if you put into your party, you're going to get out of it. If you don't, you're not. But this is a case by case if I send it. But this next one, everybody gets on Sunday. So in other words, my hosts are getting something, at least one text from me every single day for the most part. This next one, everybody will get it, and it does have a reminder. There's still time to get the free gift. And of course, it's just saying invite, 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 invite. It offers, a free little something, but I have to tell y'all, it's just rare that people actually get these gifts. So there's not a ton for me to keep up with. If someone's having a great party, I'm regardless going to be giving them something extra just as a thank you. So I am not one of these that plays a lot of games. I'm not one that spends a lot of time keeping up with stuff. If I've done a good job as a consultant, they're going to have a great party. I'm going to reward them with a little bit of extras. And then, they're pretty loyal and will continue taking care of one another. All right. So come Monday, I kind of give the whole, first thing of helping to encourage them to get some bookings. And so I send this, letting them know what they can get for the bookings. I do try to end a lot of mine with asking, thumbs up or not, because then I just know that they've read it, get that acknowledgement that they've read it, but I don't stress if I don't get the thumbs up. I mean, I know I've sent it, I don't stress. Now, if I have a host in the beginning that's not responding to some of this, I will sometimes go to Messenger, because a lot of my hosts I'm friends with on Facebook. I'll go to Messenger and just make sure they're getting the text, because, Project Broadcast is technology. So I don't want to assume, some people, their carriers, they have things set up to block certain numbers coming in or whatever. So in the very beginning, if they're not responding, I will go to another form of how I can get in touch with them just to confirm, are you getting the text? Because I don't want to get through the whole time and they say, I never got a single text from you. All right, so this is Monday or Tuesday. Usually Monday they get that message. Then I have this one scheduled for Wednesday, but typically there's still going to be something I'll send in between. It may be that at that point I go and send the host A versus host B. I try to be in touch with them every day. If they've already gotten quite a few orders, their message may just be, oh my gosh, you are already at $350. You're doing great, or just something personal. Like that. On Wednesday, just a little reminder that, hey, this is a great day to remind everyone. And here I put their shopping link, because at this point we're getting closer to the end of the party. So not that I don't want people joining the table, but at this point, let's all be real. Our ultimate goal is just get people to shop and book and maybe join our team. Just saying. So I give them that link, and I try to give them their links, quite a bit. Thursday, they get this fun little message letting them know we have 2 days left. And I like putting in here, hey, let's see if we can get 5 to 10 orders. Don't be afraid to really challenge hosts. Don't be afraid to say, let's get 50 guests in the party. Don't be afraid. I mean, make it sound like every single one of your parties is $1,000 or $1,500, whatever level you want it to be. When I first started 18 years ago, I used to say $500 because I was scared to say 1,000. I thought, oh my gosh. And I still to this day remember my first $1,000 party. Started in January, first $1,000 party was in March. Still remember her. And, if you don't challenge them, they don't know any different. So 5 to 10 orders, I mean, so be it. If they only get one, they still got one. But if you don't challenge them to something, they're probably not going to get anything. Yeah. Then on Friday, I do let them know, okay, last call. So this message is just to say, hey, I'm about to send you another message that, again, all you have to do is copy and paste. And their copy and paste is the fun little baby in the bucket or in the piece of cookware or whatever. This $300, it's always there. It really has, I mean, it's not that they're only $300 away. I just think it's not overly intimidating, but we're not just saying $50 either. So I encourage them, hey, send this out. Of course, put their shopping link in there, all of that. And then if we decide to extend, because like here, this template came about, someone hadn't done a great job. So I have this in here, let them know, hey, if we want to extend, we can. I do also have one, and I'm not even sure where it's at. I have one that will let them know how many guests they've had join. So like if they don't have very many, sometimes I'll send one that says, hey, you only have 8 in the party. Let's try to get some more guests. So again, this is where one size doesn't fit all. These are every host gets these templates, but then there is in between stuff depending on how a host is doing. A host that's doing phenomenal, she gets lots of Wahoos and emoji balloons, blah, blah, blah. If she's at $820, she gets a message. You're only $80 away from well, actually, she would get a message that says you're $180 away from 1,000. Let's do it, blah, 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 all that stuff. Now, Angie Kirkland recently helped me learn how to do voice messages. I haven't used these a ton, but these are both very generic ones that are recorded, so I can start incorporating those if I want. I've only used them a couple of times because they do go to their voicemail. So down the road, I plan to probably incorporate those a little more for both host coaching and guest coaching. But I just, like I said, it's always a work in progress, tweaking things. If it's working, don't change it. If you want to improve a little, figure out where your areas of weakness are. But for the most part, that's a lot of what I do there. When the party closes, I manually send the thank you that I put in how much they saved. And as soon as I've done that, I go to my campaigns and I add them to my after party campaign. But this one is sent manually right after we close, letting them know how much money they saved by hosting. So that is my host coaching. I know I went really, really fast, and Angie did share the bundle code, but that's kind of how I use it. And I'll pause for just a minute for questions before I then go to the guest coaching, because I do guest coaching through the party as well. But if there's questions about host coaching, y'all let me know.
So what we've got in there so far is Kim Arter asked, so they don't start inviting until the start date of the party. One thing we haven't told them, Sarah, or you haven't told them, is when you have your posts in. So I think that's where it's like, and I just had a big aha, get the people in before I start the party and just have to welcome in. But Sarah, tell her how you do that, please.
Okay, and actually I'll go to table. Okay, so, which I'm probably gonna have to log in. For my parties on Thursday, I will have all of the pre-party stuff loaded when the host comes, and therefore when she starts getting guests. I just recently started going that route where I'll do that preset, I think is what they're calling it.
Yeah, the welcome.
Yes, so I have, hold on. So right now I am using the Nostalgic. Now I created my own little mini one because I wish Pampered Chef would do like they did with the Comfort preset, where they had one that was just the preset and then they had another that was all of them. So I just created my own. But what I will do, and I'll set their table party up somewhere between Monday and before Thursday morning. So I do the host reward preset, and that will be in there Thursday when they join. I have incorporated in mine this post that is me as a generic video welcoming everybody. So it doesn't use a host name or whatever. So it's in every party, just telling people what to expect. And I have that post scheduled to be the second thing in the party. So that's Pampered Chef's welcome. And then this is me talking. Then I have my own, and then I have the wrap up one that obviously is going to be on Friday. Then I have posts Sunday through Friday that are made up of some of my own stuff. For example, this Wednesday one has a birthday post because I do have a birthday club. That's a Pampered Chef one, kitchen resolution, but this is me making bacon wrapped chicken and roasted Brussels sprouts. That is one of the ones from Pampered Chef. And most of my little videos are, let me find this one. I think, yeah, this one has my 10 must-haves. I really need to update that because it's not with the new product. So that needs to be redone. Mississippi roast is me making Mississippi roast, peanut butter banana bread, making that with the mixer. I don't go live in my parties, but I use these that have me. And those I just save from either if I was creating a reel or if I was on TikTok and I downloaded it, because TikTok is my big thing. I am really working to grow TikTok right now. I've done Facebook Live before, but I schedule these each morning at 8 o'clock. So every day, those that are in the party do get that message, something new is added. But the bulk of it is there Thursday. So Thursday through Sunday, because Sunday's the next time I'm going to post. If people have already joined, there's plenty for them to see. And it's there when the host joins as well. Does that help? Now,
Yep.
for my parties, and all of y'all may do this, I color code like all of these that are, or the 3 that are yellow, they all started at the same time, and I just do some little emoji or whatever. So all my parties that are going on will have the same color. So I know, which party is going on. I also always put this in the little, I don't know what section that is, but just that there's a free gift with $90, free shipping at $150.
Nice.
So, okay. Any other questions? Yeah, I didn't even think to.
No, and let me tell you real quick, if you guys don't know how to color code your parties, you have to do it right when you're creating it. You can't create the party and then change the color. So right when you're creating,
change
oh,
it.
can you do that now?
Yeah, just under settings. Yeah.
Okay, good. You didn't used to be able to do that. They've come so far. My
I know
goodness.
they have. Oh, that's
November
back in table.
Yeah, November of 2020, we were struggling. Let me tell you, when
And
we were
I
in the
was in
pilot.
that, and I did 6 parties in it, and I jumped ship. I was not a loyal. I was not a loyal person.
I did too, and I jumped ship. So yes, we are back. The other thing I want to share is that Mary Sipes said that she had gotten this host coaching and guest coaching a few weeks ago, and it has changed her business. I felt so much more connected with my host and guest. Both parties are over $1,100. I've only got 1 booking, but still working on it. So, and just so you guys know, after this, we will put a post out. If you have time, Sarah, I'll ask you to do it so that it comes from you. But with the bundle, because I don't think the bundle was shared here.
No,
And then
I think it was shared in Barb Dukes. Yeah.
yeah. So
I'll
if
do
you
that.
could share it in Saturday Success. And the only other thing I think you're gonna share then is your host coaching words.
My guest coaching.
No. I'm sorry. You had that green
yeah,
sheet.
yeah. This.
That one.
Yes.
Yep.
It's just a Word document. I printed it on cardstock and laminated it. Yes, I'm
There
a
you
nerd.
go.
I'm a nerd.
Nope. I
So,
get you.
I already had the laminator from Freezer Meal Workshop days, so
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna go. If you're done with and by the way, we also have a video that Angie created on how to do the voice clips. We could put that in the.
yes,
I'll
because she
put
and
that
I
in the
have the
notes.
same one. Yes, we
Yeah,
have the
okay,
same
good.
one. Just the first slide and the last slide are the only ones that are different because it needs to be our own faces. But yes.
Yep. So we'll share how to do the voice clip as well in the thread of what Sarah posts. So if you're done with the host coaching, if there's anything else to add, don't add. You are over time, and do not worry.
Oh,
Please,
I'm sorry.
No, if you have the time to stay with us, we will take it from you, because let's just get it all out, because we
Yes.
do want to go on to guest coaching. So go for it.
Okay. And I'm sorry, but that's why I also thought Zoom would be good, because then people later.
We got to see it. Yep.
And I have to credit lots of people that have helped me. This is a combination of lots of different people bringing it together and then doing what's working for me. So that's why I want to give back, because if it's going to work for you, like giving it to Mary, she sent me the best little voice clip, and it just made me so happy, because I believe sharing is caring.
Nice.
I mean, I'm not competing against every consultant in here. There's plenty of business for all of us. So, we got to do what works. All right. So guest coaching.
Real quick, I'm going to say, we will be posting the bundle, so stay tuned for that. And then Mary asked a question before you go on. What about the YouTube post that Mindy gave you?
That's what the very first one that I send on Monday with the voiceover.
Got it. So yeah, that's it. That's in the bundle.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
And Angie has, and I don't know if Angie's on, but Angie has the original post, because she's the one that did all the graphics for that. So I'll get with her afterwards and make sure in this group she posts that, because I uploaded mine to PowerPoint and did my voiceover, but I think you can also do it other places. But Angie has that, so I'll get her to do that.
Awesome.
Okay, so guest coaching. And if y'all don't think guest coaching is important, I'm going to tell you it is. And if you're not using Table, I encourage you to start, because when people join Table, whatever works behind the scenes, all that technology stuff, every party automatically gets its own tag. So that's why guest coaching can be so easy if your hosts are inviting, because every one of your parties will have its own tag that's created. And that allows us as the consultant to do a lot of the reminder. So that is why my focus to the host is invite, 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 invite. And I even say to them on the phone, if you do nothing else the whole party, if you don't post in the table, if you don't, I want them to remind, your job is to invite and remind your friends about the party. I will do the rest. Now, some do a lot more, but I need them to invite. So guest coaching. Now, this definitely varies based on the party, but I will, well, actually, no, it kind of does, kind of doesn't. All right. Table when I first started Project Broadcast, Table was sending a message that looked very similar to this one. And I didn't even know how it was doing it, offering an e-cookbook. It was because when I loaded stuff in, it went over to Connection Point and did stuff. I didn't even know what was really going on, but I'll send an e-cookbook. Well, recently I watched Janelle, something, it starts with a V, her
Viernick.
Table 101 on Dash under National Conference. It's like a 30-minute thing. And I made some tweaks because I had been sending this and a lot of people would ask a cookbook. So I'd immediately send it. My cookbooks are templates as well, but I made a change to mine and I love it. And it is a campaign and it is going so much better than that original one. So instead of that e-cookbook as the original message that will come when they join Table, mine is this message. Now, this is a campaign that you have to put in Connection Point. If you're not using Connection Point, I don't know what to tell you, but I love this because this last thing, where are you tuning in from? And people respond. I had one person say, I'm on vacation. So instead of immediately sending what is my default message, I said, oh, I hope it's somewhere fun. Where are you? So with that guest, I started conversing. But people will say where they are in the country and stuff. Now, when they respond, and this is automated, this goes out automatically. I love the little picture because it's personalized, with a picture of me and my family. Angie Kirkland made this graphic, so kudos to her. Y'all, I am all about not reinventing the wheel. I will share and share because I borrow from others or whatever, but don't reinvent the wheel. So they get that. When they respond, this is the message I send to them. And the roll call is just from Marketing Imagery. I want them to respond and give me a little more. And a lot of people respond to this. So they let me know, I love Pampered Chef, or they let me know, they're new, whatever it may be. Depending on what they respond there, I will then immediately follow up with this one. And I may or may not change anything. Just this morning, I had a guest respond and said that her daughter or niece, someone was a consultant. And the person responding just moved to a condo that had induction cooktop. So she got rid of her professional cookware and is working to get the Brilliance. So her message got changed a little and said, oh, I love it. You are going to love the Brilliance. But then I still continued the rest of the message because yes, she has a family member that's a consultant, but she joined this party. So, hopefully she'll support the host. Now, when they say which cookbook they want, I do have all my cookbooks down here, all with EC, so I can scroll through here, pick which cookbook they wanted, and this is the message they will get. So we've got this little back and forth interaction real quick, at the beginning when they first join. After that, then I do go into true, like the whole party guest coaching. So typically I'll wait at least until Monday to send the first text. And these I do it through broadcasting. So this will cost you credits, but it's just a message with the table link. I always want to make it easy for them to come back and find the party. In the beginning, it will be the actual table link. Later on, it'll be more the shopping link because later on, I'm just worried about them actually shopping. But just to remind them, they don't have to wait until the party ends, because most people aren't going to come back to Table every day. Most are going to come once and probably not come back again. So that's why guest coaching is so critical, because if they came to the party and they weren't ready to order, you need to be back in touch with them before the party ends, hoping, to get them to order. Then, and these disregard the days they say, because this is truly party by party. I try to send a text to my guests between 3 and at most 5 times. I don't want to hound them, so I don't do it every day. And it really is based on how orders are coming in, how people are joining. So this one may come Tuesday, may come Wednesday, just depends, but that's just that friendly reminder. There are some things I have to change the host name. I have to put the table link again. So they'll get that one. This one, hit or miss if I send this, because thanks to Mary Sape, I have incorporated a new way of following up for after they order. But sometimes I'll send this if I'm, if the host is struggling for some bookings. I almost always send this one, and this one has both the shopping link and the table link. This one, I would say I mostly send on Wednesday. So the 2 that I do the most often, this one and then this one, are pretty much every party's going to get that. The other 2, hit or miss. Every party will get this one on the last day, even though I asked the host to send this or post this, I still will individually send it. Now, very important that when I send these texts, I remove people that have ordered. If they ordered, I don't want, because that's going to look like I'm robotic, because they're going to be like, I already ordered. Why is she texting me? Because they don't know this is going to multiple people. It comes looking like it's just to them. So that's super easy to do. I have my phone with the party pulled up. I look who's ordered. I'm doing this from my computer. I just add everybody from the party, then go back into contacts and remove the ones that have already ordered. Because they're going to then get thank yous, and they're going to get follow-up asking if they want to book. Now, this morning, my parties that were supposed to close yesterday, well, one of them is going to close. The other 2 wanted to extend, and that's totally fine. I always give them the option to extend. But this morning, I scheduled this one to go to everybody that hasn't ordered yet. And this is just letting them know, hey, the link's still out there. The host hasn't done her order, and you will be so surprised, because this lets me lead into the second weekend of the party. So a lot of people are going to be home over the weekend, send this message, and it just has the shopping link, and usually some people will order. Those are my primary host coaching, but thanks to Mary Safe, for people that have ordered, I have recently started a new little drip campaign, and this and the customer follow-up happen. And this has been a game changer for me. So she says I've helped her. Well, she's helped me. Even though not everyone will book, them getting a separate message asking about booking separate, like I don't ask them to book in their thank you. I do it the day after with this, because if you do thank you for your order with the booking, when Mary and I talked, I had the aha that they're probably not reading all the way to asking for the booking. They just saw that I was thanking them. And my thank you for your order has a cute little picture of one of my golden doodles in a PC bag. I make some of my stuff very personal like that, because I can't tell you how many texts I get and say, oh my gosh, your dog is precious. They see me as a real person. So I do this little campaign along with just my regular customer care campaign. But the first message from customer care comes, I guess it goes out 3 days after they've ordered, asking if they want to join my recipe club. This message goes the day after they've ordered. So even with my guests, I'm keeping my name in front of them right at the end of the party quite a bit. And then of course it's spaced out. I think I have like the 2 weeks after, 60 days, whatever the time frame is. So guest coaching is definitely not as intense, but it's just as important.
That's where you get to build a relationship. You're not at a live party to smile at them.
Yep.
And you're not on Facebook to look at funny gifts with them. So yeah.
Right. And I think, now I will also say this. I don't have very much interaction on table from guests. There's a little every day. I do check if there's notifications. There's not a whole lot. And this is going to sound bad. I don't even care if they aren't interacting a whole lot. If they are, that means more work for me. So if they're not, it's okay. Y'all, that's not the secret to a great party. Our goal, and take it how you want. I hate thinking of myself as a salesperson, but that's what we are. Our goal is to get them to order, for them to like us, for them to want to come back to us. So offer something. I'm also going to encourage, and I'll wrap up after this because I know I'm way, way over. I am going to encourage you, don't always ask them for something. Be willing to give them something. And I don't mean monetarily necessarily. Have a free recipe club. And I'm trying to find where, I'm not sure where mine is. Every Monday I send out a recipe. So I have text the word recipe to my business number. One that I love. Now this does financially cost something, but most people do not redeem this. I've not had very many redeem, but they love it when they get the message. Have a birthday club. My birthday club, and y'all don't all try to hurry up and scan my Starbucks thing because it will work for any of y'all, or screenshot it.
Don't be cheating.
Right. But have a birthday club. They are going to think you are like, I don't know what, when they get this message, and they can go get a Starbucks on you. A lot don't redeem it. And I have in my birthday message, I ask them to take a selfie with their treat and send it to me. And the people that redeem it do. So it may cost me $5 or $6. I did have one that bought herself a coffee mug, and I thought I had been hacked. So, you know, we were out $15. I was.
Oh my.
But here's the thing. Her message to me, she said, I have wanted this mug forever, but I'm just not able to get it. And I even had enough left to get a small coffee because mine reloads. So, but you know what? If that made her day, it was worth it, because she's going to remember. And so she may give my name to someone else, you know, that kind of stuff. Invest in your business and it will come back tenfold. I also have one that is for anniversary. Now this one, I don't give anything to them, but because on my recipe club, when they join, it asks their birthday and their anniversary. Same with if they join my VIP group. So that's how they get into these campaigns. I mean, we look like rock stars. When they joined it months ago, all of a sudden their birthday comes up or their anniversary comes up, and they get a fun little text from us. One thing I do is every day I go into my scheduled, you know, the ones that get scheduled, and I kind of scroll to see, you know, do I have any birthdays that are coming up today, just so I can kind of pay attention. Is there going to be anyone that I should kind of watch out for? Occasionally, if it's a friend, I'm trying to find when the next birthday is. Occasionally on Facebook, if I see it's their birthday and I know I have their phone number, I'll manually add them. Here's an anniversary one. So she's going to get it on March 26th. But, you know, I might add, there's another birthday anniversary. I might add them manually on that day, and they'll be surprised because later that day they got a happy birthday on Facebook, but then they're going to get a text from me that they could go get a Starbucks. And the way I have it worded makes it indicate that it's only good on their birthday. That's not true. It would work every day, any day. I have not had anyone abuse it. And I'll cross that bridge if the time comes and someone did. But
you know, Sarah, in the very beginning, you mentioned that you're CPA, so you're a numbers girl. And you
but I
have to
don't do
know
our taxes. I have to tell you, my husband does our taxes. But yes,
that makes sense. No, but I just have to say, you know, when we do, as a consultant, I'm going to hit my 29-year anniversary this year, and you don't have to spend money to have a successful business. And one thing you'll hear from those of us that are working our business consistently is that we will never tell you to spend more money than you're making.
Oh,
so
no.
just know
No.
that the little bit of money that we're paying in fees for Project Broadcast or a Starbucks is nothing compared to the income you can have when you're working your business consistently like this.
Absolutely. And in the beginning, do not, I mean, that's the last thing you want to do. Do not be buying stuff to stay at, well, be careful what you do, because you can get, you know, the only reason I'm investing these things, I've grown my business, and like Project Broadcast, I do have a fairly big package with it because I have the one that's 2,200 credits. So I think, and I did not pay for the whole year. So I'm paying $60 a month. Y'all, I way make more than $60 using Project Broadcast.
Yeah.
Because I hate to admit this, and this is going to be bad, so don't anybody do what I did. Prior to Project Broadcast in June, so I had been 17 and a half years, and y'all don't hate me, don't turn me into anyone. I had never done customer care at all. None. Zero. And I have earned a trip every year. I have earned excellence every year. So it's not that I'm not successful, but imagine. And it was because I did not have a good system. I am not one that is going to write down every single guest and figure out when I need to follow up. I can't, that gives me anxiety. And I do have, I mean, I medically deal with anxiety and panic attacks. So when Cherie bugged the stew out of me and put a bee in my bonnet, and I have a bonnet that Angie Kirkland made that has bees all over it sitting right here.
Yeah.
When she bugged the stew out of me to figure this out, once I did jump into it, I'm not even probably utilizing it to its maximum. I mean, I do landing page, some landing pages and stuff, but for guest coaching and host coaching
And customer care. Yeah,
yes, and customer care.
I'm with you. Hey, there's one other
Just
question that came
phenomenal,
in.
just phenomenal. And I'm just gonna real quick, thank you, Cherie, for bugging the bees out of you, honey, man, because we have learned so much. So go ahead, Diane. Sorry.
I just want to say the other question came up. Heather Kelly asked, she said, I haven't used Table yet. When your host is inviting people, do those guests have to sign up for Table or just add their email?
They just add, well, hopefully their phone number.
Yes.
You do want, and my invite, I think does say,
It did at the bottom. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
with
Yep,
your
there it is.
cell number and email. Now, some will not, they won't do their cell number, and some, as soon as they join, they will say stop, which means, because they got that little thing that said you consented. Okay, now Cherie has a problem with getting stops, even if she sends out a mass broadcast. Here's what I'm going to tell y'all. Who cares? And I go in and delete them. You don't have to, because when they say stop, it automatically, but I go delete them. And it's not because I don't care. It's because it's okay if not everybody wants text from me. I don't waste time on that. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Just as I have ventured into TikTok world, and let me tell you, you have to have tough skin to be live on TikTok. And I have already had my first troll that accused Pampered Chef of being pyramid schemes. So I, explained stuff, told my story. I got into Pampered Chef because my oldest, who's 23, is deaf, and I needed a social outlet. Well, that troll said, what the heck does having a deaf kid have to do with a pyramid scheme?
Yeah.
Moderator that blocked her, but before she blocked,
Nothing.
I just addressed it and said, Pampered Chef changed my life because at the time I needed it. I never would have imagined I'd be here 18 years and 1.4 million in sales. Well, then the troll was like, oh, so now you're talking about what you, and then I let my moderator block her. But you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on, because that's the problem. Our world wants to hate. They want to be misinformed. It gives me a chance. And on my TikTok platform, yes, I'm using the products. Yes, I have the links in my bio. My primary goal is to show them you don't have to be a chef to prepare dinner. And I say that over and over when I'm in there.
Yeah.
You just have to have the right tools to be able to assemble something. So
Yeah, and then what I do is for those that don't put their phone number in there or do say stop right away, I just send it to them in an email. Whatever message I would send, I just copy that thing and throw it off in an email.
now, see, I haven't done that. So you just gave me an idea. Yeah, I need to do
Yeah,
that. There you
Because
go.
all we have to do in Table is go to our settings and look at the guests, and their emails are right there.
Yes.
I don't think I've had anyone that didn't sign up with either. I'm thinking back now. But if you go
I usually do one or the other or both. Yeah.
yeah. So it's super easy. Just copy and paste their email, and then you can reuse that same email, just reply back so that you're getting everybody in there. And I just do it as a blind copy all,
Yeah. And my
So-
thank you to my guests, which of course this is over in Connection Point. I have constantly changed this. Let me find someone that I don't know if this person ordered. Yeah, here's my thank you that I'm currently, see, there's my dog.
Cute.
But I let them know they're going to get, and this came from Mary, they're going to get an email with their tracking information, because right now, for some reason, email confirmations are not going out or not consistently. I have a ton that will say, I didn't get an email that my order was placed. Did you get it? And it's a lot of my loyal people. So don't know what's going on with that. And that's been for several weeks now. But anyway, this is their message. So does not ask them for a booking or anything, but what their follow-up will be, now it does ask if they want to join my VIP group, and a lot will, but like the next day, they get this one that came from Mary Sape, where this is asking them about a booking. And like, for example, this person, she said, I'll keep it in mind, but not right now. So once they responded, that stopped that campaign because it has 2 more follow-ups if they don't respond. And then
Nice.
this is just my response to them. Okay, no problem. Now, sometimes I'll tailor this even more personal depending on what their answer was. But then I ask permission, can I just stay in touch with you?
A couple things in here. Can you copy and paste the thank you from you and Mary? Yeah, and we will definitely get that bundle code from Mary. So thank you, Mary,
Yeah.
for sharing. Eileen Paul asked, what is Connection Point? You want to tell her about that?
Connection Point is another, and I'm really not super clear, but Connection Point and Project Broadcast talk. So as you get orders, then you can do the follow-up. Now, I do know there are some people that don't use Connection Point. They just use Table and Project Broadcast. When I started using Project Broadcast in June, I started using Connection Point. So I'm just keeping it. And this is not, I think I only paid $10 a month for Connection Point.
Yeah.
I love it because it is where I house my thank yous. Whoever it is, I forget who runs.
Chris Waring.
Okay, yeah, Chris. He doesn't like me very well because I have all my own, because their list of 5,000 is too much for me and my OCD. So I have my own little messages for all different scenarios. I just did a host and customer appreciation party, and I had a shared rewards follow-up thank you that I did. But somehow when they order from Pampered Chef, it sends it to Connection Point. And like, I don't have any that I haven't followed up right now, but they would be listed here. You click on them, send a thank you. That then attaches what my customer care campaign is. And if they're a new customer, it will also attach the follow-up for booking that Mary has given me. I haven't figured out how to make it attach if they're existing, so I manually add that one. That's just, I hadn't taken the time to do that, but
yeah. And I'll tell you real quick, the way that it works is that you allow them to read emails with a certain title. So Pampered Chef is really working a lot with Project Broadcast and Connection Point to make this system just flawless for us. So
and it is game changer.
It is. It's easy now, and it's only going to get easier. It's different. So my head had to stop and wrap around it a few times.
Well,
so I've got really good notes.
I will say this: when you start with any of them, Project Broadcast, Table, or Connection Point, it is not going to be spend 5 minutes and you're on your way. I'm going to be transparent. I have spent hours and hours, but every bit of it has been worth it. When I started 18 years ago and hit submit to order my kit, the first several weeks, I was a person, I have to know all the ins and outs. I was an auditor. I need to know the behind the scenes. I would be up till 3 and 4 in the morning because I did this for a social outlet. I did not do it for the money. I didn't even know you could earn trips because Cherie was not my immediate director. I didn't even know you could earn trips. I didn't know really anything. I thought TPC stood for the Pampered Chef, but that was Top Performance Cluster back then. I knew none of that. I went to conference my first year because it was a girls' getaway. At the time I had 2 kids. It was let my husband take care of the kids, let me go to Chicago. But again, invest time in your business and then you won't work as hard. Yeah. I'm not stressed. I mean, I've got people that will be having their parties while I'm at Disney, and it is okay. When I'm in Cancun, any of y'all that are on the wave of Cancun with me, I can assure you when my husband goes to get me a beverage and I'm sitting in the chair, I will still work some because it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah. Real quick, back on Connection Point, what it's doing is it reads the emails so that when you get that, you have an order email, it then funnels that information into Connection Point, which then pushes it out to Project Broadcast, meaning that you don't have to manually enter new orders and customer into as it happens. So it's a gateway to make it super easy. One other thing is Sarah, Kim Spence asked, Sarah, do you have the double opt-in turned on in Project Broadcast?
No, and I will not, but I'm 100% using
and let me.
So by using Table.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. You're breaking up, but I will say that if you're starting Project brand new, set it up. If you're not, like Sarah and I are doing, the secret.
But and from a business background, for years we've texted and emailed with our hosts and guests, and we've never had to do that. My opinion only, please, nobody turn me in, whatever, but I'm using Table, so I'm covered anyway. But legally, it's a little more so Pampered Chef needing to be protected than us as independent consultants. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
And I'm never harassing
Well-
anyone. I am never giving out anyone's information. I mean, so no, I am not double opted in and have not been.
Well, we have taken up way more time than we anticipated, and it was not worth it. Sarah,
so
thank
worth
you
it.
so much. I know you're
Much
going to be posting some stuff in the group. Let me know, Chris, if there's anything we forget to post.
No, I think
And,
we're good. We're starting to break
that's
up. So
exactly what we.
I think our hour plus has been well worth it. And Sarah, you're tremendous. I love your energy. Diane, thank you for always being our techie person here. And you guys make it a great one. We'll talk to you next weekend. And this was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry I went over.
No.
I kind of thought it would, but
We're all good. Thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
good.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.